Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, as usual, I'm again excited to make my Hoodwink guide about the laning state. And I think it was someone in Reddit that asked a Hoodwink or a Rubik guide, so here I am doing the guide for Hoodwink just for the laning state. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeff in Game Raza, and what we do in this channel is mainly focus on the laning stage as position 4 or as position 5, and we do that because we mostly watch and explain my games, and we have a lot of different examples from the beginning to the end of the laning stage, winning laning stages, losing laning stages, and laning stages that you need to approach in a specific way. So if you're new, please subscribe, comment, and like. YouTube actually appreciates that. And before wasting any more time, let's jump into the guide.
Moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster.
Let us start. And as usual, the first thing that we do in these guides is explain what the hero does, not only in the laning stage, but throughout the whole game. Okay, so what does Hoodwink does as a hero? First of all, Hoodwink is one of the most annoying heroes in the game. That does not mean broken, that does not mean strong, that does not mean weak. It means it is annoying to play against. If you ever play versus Weaver, or if you play versus Spiritbreaker, or if you play versus Windranger, it's literally the same thing. Annoying as a hero. It is hard to catch, it provides a lot of damage, it provides long range control, and it has some kind of survivability, and it's really good because he can position himself constantly. Hoodwink, if you don't know already, but I'm pretty sure you do, is one of the strongest heroes in the mid game, right? He has the ability to set up a kill, to set up control, to reposition spells with that position yourself elsewhere is one of the strongest mechanics in the game. Swap, for example, Pudge hook. These type of spells are just so strong just because you can't really play around them. The same thing as bushwhack. Okay, he also provides a lot of damage, and he has some kind of mobility. Generally, is a really well designed hero. In the mid game, you can never go wrong with Hoodwink. He's always really viable. The problem is, in my opinion, that his laning stage is quite weak. Why is his laning stage quite weak? Let's break that down, okay? First of all, he doesn't have a lot of damage, okay? 53 damage is not that good. Second of all, of course, it's not that good compared to other supports, right? We'll get back to that. Second of all, his armor is decent, but his HP is not. I have like 6.2, like just because I have a lot of stats. Lastly, his animation, his attack animation is a little bit weird, a little bit slow. And in my opinion, Hoodwink gets out-traded by literally every other support in the game. Even Crystal Maiden, right? Even Apparition, the heroes that are not that strong in 1v1 scenario, Hoodwink actually struggles a lot. So what's the downside of the Hoodwink is that for you to pick him, you need to combine him with a really solid position 3. What are these heroes? Mars, Pudge, Tidehunter. For example, heroes like Magnus and Elsie are not that strong. What you want to do is combine Hoodwink with the hero that is almost self-sustained, and with a little bit of damage you can find kills. Also, Hoodwink is a type of hero that will not casually harass. Let's say like the position 5s that we've talked in other guides, and some other position 4s like Skyrath Mage, for example. Hoodwink does not build up, slowly and steadily the kill. He instantly goes for that. That's why he requires from a position 3 to almost have enough damage. So with a little bit of control and a little bit of damage, he can do that. Our goal as Hoodwink position 4, which is his main source of position, is to get level 6 without losing the lane that hard. When I get to play Hoodwink, this is what I think. I want to get to level 6 so I can start moving around the map and be a really big threat with my ultimate without losing the lane that hard. And let us start. This is like game number 1, okay, that I want to show. And one of the downsides of Hoodwink is that it doesn't have a plan. Every time you have to see what are the enemies, right? What duo lane am I going to actually face? This is a downside. And according to this duo, you will have to itemize. For example, if you get to play versus Undying, and you'll see a similar example later on, you have to go for boots. There is no way, or windlass, but I want to say boots because Undying is also a really fast hero. There is no way you can man fight an Undying, okay? The same as Jakiro. If you fight a Jakiro, what you want to do is get boots and just cut the waves. If you have Beastmaster, then you'll probably go for Blightstone because it's a really... Beastmaster has Yora and he has a boars, so what you want to mainly do with your Buzzwhack is to protect the boars. So you usually go for Blightstone, so the boars will do extra damage, right? And now I get to play versus a Morphling, okay? Now, Hoodwink is probably one of the best heroes, not only versus Morphling in the mid game, just because you can just one-shot him with the ultimate later on, but also because Buzzwhack, it's just so hard to react to that, right? And my starting items, if you get to see them, are actually the components of Ernok Shadows, right? Now, the reason why I go for Ring of Protection is because the main source of Morphling and Weaver, which is like most likely the position 5, this is what I thought, is physical damage. So I'm gonna need this extra 2 armor for sure, okay? Perfect. If you've seen previous guides as well, you know that what we aim is actually level 2 power spike. Whoever gets level 2 power spike is most likely to win. Like, you have level 2, they have level 1, you're gonna pause your reaction, because you have double the spells, and most likely you're gonna have a favorable trade. Also, this is my first position 4 guide, so one of the fundamental things that you want to do is block this camp and always have this unblocked. Unless, we'll talk that later on. So, the game starts, and the laning state starts here, right? I want to trade usually with the position 4. For example, if you play versus Disruptor, you want to buy a little bit more consumables to absorb Thunderstrike, because it's either you or your position 3. So I might as well just be a little bit sacrificial and absorb that. Now, I'm like, I don't want to trade with the Weaver, because Morphling, what is his power spike? Level 3. If Morphling is level 3, and for example, he's a little bit healthier, like he has enough health for us not to burst him into a Bushwhack, then we kinda lose our timing. So I want to kill, or I want to force Morphling when I know that he's actually the weakest, and he's really weak at level 1. We can actually kill him level 1, is what I'm saying. So one of the things that you get to learn when you play support is, if you don't want to trade with the other support, or if you don't, if you trade really bad, usually players just play this area. What you can do is just play on the other side. That's all, right? Really, that's all. And this is what I actually do. I just ignore Weaver and just play on the other side of the map and try to mainly focus on my level 2 and try to harass Morphling as much as possible, right? How, like, in every way I can scrub with CS, because in the end, what I want to do is shut down this Morphling, right? I don't really care about Weaver. So the laning state starts, and if you see, everything that we do is about denying and pretty much trying to harass this Morphling, right? Every right click matters with this hero. I just can't express how hard this hero is, not only to execute, but it's so hard to pull a really good result in the laning stage, right? I also get to buy more tangos because I had this feeling that I'm gonna get right clicked a lot by Weaver, and I don't really feel threatened that they can kill me, of course, game happens, anything can happen, but I feel like, casual right clicks, in my attempt to attack Morphling, I can get some attacks from creeps. I'm definitely gonna need more than three tangos. There's nothing here to say. Bushwhack, and perfect. We almost like, I wanted to force him there, and then here's what happens. They get level 2, and what we think is, okay, she's gonna get waveform, and all of a sudden it becomes hard. But again, Morphling struggles versus direct stance and hex, right? That's why Lion is really usually good versus him. Okay, so Bushwhack is kinda a direct spell, unless you're Artesia or something. Perfect. And the laning starts to pull towards us. What does this mean? If, like, usually the laning stage is called, this is called safe lane, just because the tower is under here. right? If the creep wave is under here, do you see how much space we have to chase people down right now? And in order for Morphling to fix that, or for Weaver, she needs to pull. If Weaver goes to pull, then this Morphling is alone. That means two things. We can either kill him, or we can just deny everything. Because if he doesn't contest creeps, he will just watch everything to deny, okay? And if you see, like, we don't even hit this creep, right? We just take as much as time as possible, right? For this creep to, so the next creep wave is gonna come, and it's gonna meet under here. So we have all of a sudden kill potential, okay? And you'll see how this combines. Now, level 2, like Bushwhack, you're gonna most likely skill that level 1 all the time. Level 2, 9 out of 10 times. Acorn Shot, it's really good. It's gonna give you kill potential. But in case you're about to die, you go for Scary and maybe then level 3 Acorn Shot, okay? And all of a sudden, look my positioning. I really want to mention that. This is what I mean. This Morphling is afraid, right? And look how aggressive I play, because he knows that I can just Bushwhack. That's why he's, let's say, kind of smart, right? And he has Quelling Blade, so he cuts all the trees that will get him killed. Because all we need is a Bushwhack, and then all of a sudden Spear and Rebuke, and he's dead. Okay? Perfect. We try to force him, but bad coordination. And you see, I really want to put that out. I really like, let's go back a little bit before. I Bushwhack here, and then look at that. I immediately go back, right? I immediately go back. I'm like, this is not going to happen. Let's try to find a different angle to get him killed. Other supports, like Scarith Mages, they don't really do that. They just spam or Lions. But heroes like Hoodwink, heroes like Clockwork, heroes like Grimstroke, heroes like Tuskar, they usually go all in, I'm gonna get the kill, or if it doesn't work out, then go back, wait for my cooldowns, try again. If you see, there is not a lot of casual hits, there is not a lot of back and forth, okay? Perfect. Okay, this Weaver here fucked up, right? And I'm gonna show a little bit of numbers. So, Weaver is quite meta right now, and she's quite strong, and usually she's quite to be feared. But there's only one thing that people usually forget. Chikuchi has 12 seconds cooldown, okay? That's a lot of cooldown. That means when she gets revealed, level 1, even level 2, she is exposed, okay? And all of a sudden, she gets revealed, and of course, she dies here, right? So that means First Blood. That means for us, we got First Blood. What also means is that this Morphling is alone. So whenever someone dies, and you have enough health, of course, you want to focus on the other player, okay? I like how I get more tangos here, because I understand that I could save, and this is what we usually say in the position 5 role. But guys, even as position 4, where you're a little bit more greedy, you want to get more out from the laning stage, you always need to be in a position to actually contest the lane. If you don't have enough regen, and this applies like with Mangoes, Clarity, Salves, everything. If you need a Salve or a Clarity or Tangos, right, to do that, then go for that. The items can wait, okay? Because you're just gonna lose so much for the laning stage. Buy consumables. Usually, like, if I can simplify it, usually unless you get countered really hard, the players that have more consumables are most likely gonna win the lane. And that even means unfavorable trading. If I have 5 salves and you have 2, most likely I'm gonna win the lane, okay? So please do buy salve, and generally consumables. We make an attempt on Weaver here, right? We don't really, manage to do that. And we just wait for our consumables, okay? When you get to play position 4, there is not a lot of back and forth from our perspective. Unlike, if you've seen other guides that I make as post for as position 5, right? Where is there a constant struggle to fight the enemy? No, in the position 4, you just always move around the map or move around the lane to find opportunities to blow, like to instantly find the kill. Like, look at that. I'm not even here. I'm just finding opportunities over here to see what's going on. And Morphling knows. Morphling smartly knows that, you know, he might die if he contests, right? And look at that. Do you see how this guy's alone? Where is Weaver? He needs to pull the lane. So what does this mean for us? This guy's alone. And I want to show that, like, the last 10 seconds, right? Do you see? I know Weaver leaves. And again, in the position of 4 wall, you need to see these small opportunities. If you don't do that, well, you're just not, you know, making the most out of the lane. That's all. I'm just trying to, you know, we got lucky a little bit here because that tree actually spawned, and all of a sudden we got the kill, right? Really good, a little bit of lucky, right? With the spawn, with the tree spawn, and, you know, the lane continues. I get to buy the Urn of Shadows. The reason why I usually don't buy, I usually even don't like the item generally. I think it's too expensive. Maybe I don't like Vessel, but versus Morphling, Vessel is usually good. So what we do, look at that. That's a little bit of a trick. You can just, if you hit at 450 and you start running here or you start running here, you get to stack and pull only for Radiant, okay? Trying to pull. And again, what do we do? Try to find opportunities to blow up this Morphling. Of course, skill shot. That was not really well. And what do we do? Like, you see, if we casually harass Morphling, he's not really gonna die. And then you see how he just, let me show you that. Why am I the one that needs to bushwalk all of a sudden out of the fog? Because if he is like that, he knows that this might happen, right? And he starts regening. That's why we need to cut him out from the fog, because if he starts regening and he's level 3, that we said in the beginning, power spike on Morphling is level 3, then it's just really hard for us to kill him. But if I cut him without the the strength switch, then it should be an easy kill, okay? Perfect. We get the Weaver kill, and look at that. Lane ward to see where Morphling is, and this is what I mean. Instantly. And it's so hard to predict that from the Morphling, right? And I'm gonna show more examples, but this is what it means to actually, you know, play, like, think like the enemy, right? What's his downsides? What's his weaknesses? And weakness on Morphling is direct lockdown, okay? And right now it's just like the lane stage is actually over, okay? There's no way Morphling, but he cannot play versus Mars. It's like impossible, okay? What do we do as Hoodwink? No mana, bring more mana. And now I really want to talk mangoes versus clarities. If you have a hero like Clockwork, like Hoodwink, that usually goes direct for the kill, that means there is a lot of back and forth, so clarities make more sense, okay? Keep that in your mind. If you want direct all the time, you need mana, right? Because you have small cooldowns like a Crystal Maiden, then for the lane stage, you need mangoes, okay? And look at that. Do you see how I just try to position myself again here? There you go, Hoodwink, and he's dead, like Bushwhack, and he's dead, right? I just want to show you the last clip, right? Of course, we pull here or we try to stack, so we can just pull, so we can get jungle items because it's 7 minutes in. Okay, perfect. Trying to get my level 6 as fast as possible, and what we do here is instantly everyone TP's bot. Okay, instantly everyone TP's bot. We get earn charges. And later on, with our level 6, what do we do? The whole point of the laning stage is to get level 6 and start doing stuff, right? So what we're going to do is I see a fight, try to instantly use my fight, right? To use my ultimate. Use my fight makes no sense. Use my ultimate, okay? I don't know, that was a weird interaction over here. Anyway, that was our first game. And right now we are going to watch another game that was, you know, we did really well. The guide overall is going to have probably 4 replays, you know, 2 wins, 1 equal, and 1 really hard loss. So yeah, without wasting time, you know, let's jump into that. This is game number 2, where I'm Hoodwink with a Pudge versus a Draw Ranger and a Disruptor. And as we established so far, what we want to do with Hoodwink is go to a lane and not actually lose at horrible, right? We just want to go into the mid game where Hoodwink is a beast with some decent levels and, if we're lucky, some decent items, right? And what we also established so far is that for Hoodwink to actually shine in the laning stage is to have a really good lane partner. Beastmaster, Mars, Pudge is really good. Tidehunter is not bad, but it's like a little bit harder. And the reason why you want these heroes is because they have a lot of damage, so they do 80% of the job, and you just add 20%, and all of a sudden you have 100%. You have a great result. Okay, now why do I have a Windlace, right? I went for the Windlace previously. We went for the Energy of Shadows. Why did I go for that? Why did I get to choose that? And it is quite simple. I need to be able to disengage from a disruptor that's gonna hit me all the time, and Draw Ranger is also gonna slow me a lot. Okay, and I don't really require, like, there's no reason for me to go for something like a Blight Zone because we already have a lot of damage. If for some reason Pudge is on top of Draw Ranger, he just dies. All we need to do is bushwalk, I'm gonna find it, and then we just hook him, and well, he dies. Disruptor can do nothing to actually save him. Okay, so I place a word here generally. Sometimes I place it here, sometimes I place it here. Depends on the situation, right? I usually like to place it here so I can see where my enemy, if he's gonna place a ward himself. And you see Hoodwink, especially with a Windlace, I'm quite fast, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be there first. So I also need to see where he's going to, like, where she's going to place a sentry, right? I need to see these type of things, and I can get to do that with that lane ward, with the upper ward. Okay. So of course we see them. Pudge got here, he hooks. In my mind, I should just bushwalk. And anyway, we find the kill here, and the lane starts, right? We try to camp here a little bit, and of course I get to buy Tango. Why do I need Tango in this lane? Because if you see my Pudge, generally Pudge is quite high health, but he's also quite squishy. He receives a lot of harass because he's low armor. So I don't want a spell of 180 damage, right? 180 damage level 1 and a lot of right clicks to get him down. So I'm gonna be a little bit sacrificial, and I'm going to actually absorb all the damage from my Pudge, because all I need to do in this lane is bushwalk, and then we'll just hook him, right? For example, here, hook, and we don't get the kill, but you get the idea, right? This is a combo. The same thing applies for Mars, the same thing applies for Tidehunter. The idea is the same, the itemization is different, okay? So what we do all the time, go for the level 2, okay? Go for the level 2, and that's it. Like, we just wait for the level 2, and in the meantime, what you want to do is maybe get some CS or screw up with the enemy CS, or generally try to do, like, you're not really that good in casual harassing, especially when you get to play versus Draw Ranger and the Disruptor, because these heroes have naturally, especially Disruptor, way more damage than you, okay? That was A tier bushwalk there, and you see how mindless the Disruptor plays. Why would you ever like trade with the position 4? Just like, Pudge is a hero that's gonna screw up. Like, if we're gonna jump on Draw Ranger, for example, it's gonna be Pudge. It's gonna be Pudge that's gonna be on top of here. All I need to do is bushwalk, right? All I need to bushwalk. Why would you? And if Pudge is like low HP and he just commits on draw, you just kill him. You know, let's clear that, and we'll just get back. That's just a student. We'll just kill him. So, like, that's why when you get to play position 5, boys, be a little bit more thoughtful, okay? And by the way, you know, these are like good players, I assume, okay? Trying to de-ward, didn't want actually to block here, so I guess he blocked like this way. And trying to get the range creep, it happens. Get the clarity, and of course, why do we get clarity, not Nango? Because you see, there is not a lot of interaction. We just try to find good openings for us to for kills, right? They got level 2, so you see how we just try to play a little bit more careful. I'm like, till they have level 2, okay? And that was like God hook, and this is something that we didn't really do that much. For example, the correct way to play this lane is for me to bushwalk there, and he gets to hook, okay? but you know, he's a god, you know, god pod player. So the idea is the same. You know, actually the end result is the same. The execution was a little bit harder, and you see all of a sudden, if you've seen the position 5 guides that we made in the past, what does a position 5 hate the most? Two people, position 3 and 4, with full HP to be on top of them. Okay, this is what he hates the most. And of course, this is what we do all the time. We try to buzzwalk, for example, this guy. Look at that. Right? Do you see how aggressive he plays? Let's go back a little bit. Of course, sadly, not enough mana, right, to use both of the spells. But all of a sudden, do you see how aggressive this guy plays? He's out of position instantly. We just try to punish that, right? The fact that Pudge dies means, and you know, Draw Ranger dies later, means absolutely nothing, right? Because we get to get soul XP with the hero that actually benefits from soul XP, right? Like when you get to play supports and you're a support that scales with level, it's okay for us, of course, like if we want to be a little bit more greedy, it's okay for the position 3 to die so we can get all the XP, okay? Okay, let's go back a little bit. Baiting, we actually baited him there, right? And I actually brain lag because I don't know why I didn't use Mango in the boss walk, you know, probably that's why I'm stuck in 6.57k. But the idea is the same. If you are with a good laner, sadly Pudge did not wait. All of a sudden it happens to, like, all of a sudden the lane works, right? For me, nothing to say here. We're like, if you see, I just want to mention that we always try to find opportunities for let's say bushwalk. Like we always try to find opportunities to find a really good bushwalk into hook. That's a combo here, right? And again, Hoodwink is a type of hero that what does you do? You always need to adapt to what you have. Perfect. I was like a really good landing hook, and this keeps going on and on. So I'm gonna like go really fast just to get the idea. I think after from a specific after a point, you start to get the idea, right? That was also really good here, and this is like the first time we actually managed to do that. We actually didn't manage to get the kill, right? Surprisingly. But again, Draw Ranger, no health, no TP. Well, practically she's dead, right? It would be great to kill her, but practically she's dead. And this is like the last thing. We have the catapult. We get to find him as well, you know. And all of a sudden we have the catapult. So what we want is push. Ideally, in the position in the offlane, what you want to do is get the tower, right? If you get the tower, that's great. And usually you have the 5 and 10 minute mark with a catapult, with a siege crew to actually do that. Lastly, what we want to do, don't forget that what you want to do from the laning stage is to get Anita classes. You should get the level 6, right? Pudge didn't have hook there. That was also quite sadly. And there you go, out of position, and we just rank him down and he just dies, right? So I'm just gonna go like a little bit fast. Right now, 7 minutes in, we want jungle items, right? And we pull jungle items, and what we want to do is get the level 6 and try to use them. And you'll see how, just like Lion, but with Lion is a little bit more easy to actually see that happening, is what you want to do is, look at that, you get level 6, instant TP, and I'm trying to find something, you know, I'm almost out of, I almost have mana for both of these, and I was charging here, and I was baiting for a stun, didn't actually land. Maybe he would die, maybe he would not die. I think he would die, actually, you know. But you start to see the idea. And in the end, if you see the net worth, Pudge top net worth, Draw Ranger way below. We got level 6, 8 minutes in. It's insane. I think you start to get the idea why Hoodwink requires a really strong laner to work with, and why itemization is important. Because if you understand, if I did have a Blightstone, for example, or more stats, it would make no difference, right? If I hit a little bit harder on Disruptor, I'm actually never in a position to be able to favorably trade versus him, I might as well just commit in a little bit more movement speed to actually find good openings to get them killed. This is the next game that I want to show, and right now I just want to show the different approach on the hero. You see that I get to play with the Beastmaster right now, so all of a sudden Blightstone makes a lot of sense, because all of a sudden my right clicks make a lot of sense, because he's gonna skill Inner Beast, so I'm gonna have a lot of attack speed, okay? On top of that, I'm having the boar. So usually when you get to play with Beastmaster, you play around his boars, right? You protect the boars, and with the boars you try to actually out-trade the opponents. So what does this mean for us? Like, when you get to play with the Beastmaster, you aim for the long-term trading, okay? You don't go direct for the kill, right? So if anyone gets out of position, with the slow you can do that, and that's why Hoodwink and Beastmaster is great. For example, here you get to see that I get to place the ward behind, and in different examples, in different games, I get to place in different places. For example, right now I know that we are going to push away because it is a Beastmaster, so I want to see what's going on behind that, right? And I know that this might sound a little bit, like you don't really want to think about this kind of stuff, and it comes a little bit with experience, right? Anyway, when you have a really strong combo like Hoodwink and Beastmaster, you usually want to contest runes, right? And anyway, the game starts, of course, like we all try to go for the rune, and we try to find the first blood. So this is like the best possible start, and you'll see why abusing level 2 and out of position and blind zone makes all of a sudden sense. So I get to play Hoodwink, and the enemy support is actually Nature's Prophet. So apparently it's a hero that I've seen a lot as position 5 lately. And if you're interested, this is this is pretty rough. You can't really trade with all these trees. It's just so annoying. You see that me and Beastmaster actually spend a lot of time. So what I do, I'm saying, fuck, I'm gonna get harassed a lot. So what do I need? More tangos. Okay. We go for the level 2. And you see how we just try to protect this boar, both me and Beastmaster, right? We just want this boar because this boar is actually quite annoying. And when you get to play in a lane, usually what we said so far is that Hoodwink wants to go for the kill instantly, but all of a sudden I don't want to go for the kill instantly because I already win the long term, right? What you want to do in the side lane, do you recall? Push and side pull. You push a lane and just side pull. The other option, which usually heroes like Timbersaw and heroes like Kotal take advantage of that, is when the lane is pushed, you don't necessarily want to pull all the time. You can also apply pressure with a huge creep wave, and you'll get to see that later on, right? But usually, it makes more sense to actually pull because it's also safer. Why do I play on the left side? Because I don't really want to trade, and I can't really trade with a Nature's Prophet. It's impossible for me. And whenever I can just get to right click, I'll just do. I see that, I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. I need to go on the left side, right? We try to protect the board, don't forget that, and we have level 2. Okay. Okay, this guy is totally out of position and he dies, like instantly. Totally out of position, look at that. This is what it means to protect the boar and punish. If you get to play versus Beastmaster, you cannot play if boars are alive. So he goes for the kill, but we kind of punish him, and this is what I mean. A little bit of damage, a little bit of control, a little bit of repositioning. I just bounce him once, boom, and he just dies, right? And even if I get to die here, it's okay. It is okay. Yeah. Perfect. Like, I'm just trading with Nature's Prophet here. I feel like at this point, this is a good lane already for my Beastmaster. I go to get up the rune, that was a little bit lucky. Of course, my invoker denies that. Thanks, bro. And go back to the lane, okay? And I bring more regen. I'm gonna say that in every guide, I need more regen, otherwise I'm just a freaking NPC that sucks XP. You know, like the classic post 5 pods that goes boots and clarity and just stands there. Perfect. And right now, look at that. This is what we said. You can stack and pull at 350. And all of a sudden, if you stack and pull at 350, you will actually deny a full creep wave. Perfect. We get the kill, and this is what I mean. Right now, I'm quite strong. Let's go a little bit back as well. If he's out of position, this is what Hoodwink does. He punishes you. If you're out of position, Hoodwink is gonna punish you. He's gonna hold you there. He's gonna get you out of position, and you're just gonna die, right? And what happens right now? It is a 2v1, so you wanna take advantage of that. Now that I think about it, I could actually hit that tree with the tango. Right? I'm just right now. I'm just wasting my last mana, and even if I die here, it's actually okay. I have literally no health, no mana. It is actually okay to die. The bad deaths are the ones that you still have a lot of consumables and a lot of mana and a lot of health to actually use. But if you're like no mana, no health, it's okay to die, right? Last thing. Do you see how you don't mindlessly go to the lane? Oh, I'm in the off lane. I need to go back to the on lane. No. See what the heck is going on to the other lanes. Maybe, you know, these type of things might happen, you know. And this has to do with the role, not with the hero, okay? So, you get to die. And when you get to die, usually you want to, you know, look around the map. What the fuck is going on? Can you find the kill? Maybe someone died your team. That, for all I know, that could be like the bot lane, Mars engages Medusa, you know? And yeah, like, I managed to save my invoker from a certain death. And beautiful. Straight up top. Why straight up top? 5 and 15. What does this mean? Instantly, like, you see me running. Why did I do that? I play with the Beastmaster, and guess what? It's time for us to siege. Why? Catapults, right? There's a catapult here, right? So instantly you start there to apply the pressure. To do what? Pressure them under tower. Because what you want to do is either pull or pressure them under tower. And there you go, like, boom. Instantly. And what do? Siege. Instantly. And at this point, I feel like the laning stage is over, you know. This guy just TP'd there. He doesn't have TP, he just dies as well. And just at this point, you know, I feel like, you know, my Beastmaster has almost Helm of the Demonator. At this point, the laning stage is over, and just going like so, a little bit of net worth, like just going so well. And it's only like 7 minutes in. The reason why I pull here is to get jungle items. Jungle item 7 minutes in. Always do that, guys. And at this point, you see, just going a little bit fast. And there it is. Right. The tower was gone. My mid laner dies. And you see how strong, right, we are. And in terms of net worth creeps, we're doing really well. And some of these creeps are actually jungle creeps. So yeah, let's go to a game where I feel like it went pretty bad, but you know, sometimes this is going to happen anyway. And this is probably going to be our last game. So yeah, let's jump into that. This, like, I really like this game because sometimes just you actually need to adapt to what you will face. So right now I have a Spiritbreaker, which is really strong with the position as a position 3 with Hoodwink. I think we don't really have that much of a kill potential, right? Because I don't think Spiritbreaker generally, unless you bust a lot, I don't think Spiritbreaker has a lot of damage generally, right? You just need to bust, and that's it pretty much, unless until you get level 6. And I get to face a Sven and the Jakiro. Now, Jakiro is probably one of the strongest and most solid position 5 in the game. Like, I just want you to see what, like, why I say Hoodwink has a pretty weak laning. 49 damage, 500 HP, and pretty much, his armor is decent, it's not bad, and his animation is pretty slow. And on the other hand, what I have to face as a position 5 is 60 damage, 760 HP, which I don't really have a way to deal with. For example, if in the previous game, right, they didn't have Disruptor and they would have the hero, you know, the lane would have been a lot harder, for example, because Disruptor is way lower HP than the hero. Okay, so I get to start with boots. Why do I get to start with boots? I thought, okay, you know what we're going to do? I'm gonna have more movement speed, and I'm gonna abuse the fact, you know, that I'm like faster than him. Maybe, you know, trade somehow a little, you know, a little bit better just with the right clicks, and that's it pretty much. This is a game that I don't really mind, you know, not going well in the lane, because I get to have Spiritbreaker, Ember Spirit, Hoodwink in the mid game, and that means a high tempo is insane. All I need to do is just have a fine, not great, fine, not even like, I just don't want to get stomped. That's all. And like, if you see, if you see, like, we did manage actually to win quite easily, right? So the laning state starts, right? And the reason why we have boots is also why we want to pull the waves, okay? Again, a great boss walk, you know, I was still figuring that out. I was really happy when CM came and helped me here, because, you know, that's, if the cures have HP, maybe we can just kill him, you know? And this is what I mean. I get the hit, and then I'm just trading. Why do I trade with him? Well, Sven is also quite high health, right? And I feel like if I try to harass Sven, he can just stun me, lock me down, and then the cure is just gonna dual breath, and I'm just gonna receive a lot of damage, if not die. Okay. I think we did like pretty bad. I didn't like this chart generally. All I cared is my Sven to get the bass and just start bassing the Sven, right? So what I try to do is actually break the lane into 1v1s where I do not trade that well, but at least my Spiritbreaker, who is also a hero that doesn't really he doesn't really care about gold. He requires a lot of XP mainly to be effective in the game. And so I'm like, okay, let them, because generally Spiritbreaker is really good versus Zen, just because Sven is quite kiteable in the mid game, and all he needs to, you know, actually kill people is a BKB, but Spiritbreaker can actually deal with that with the charge and with the ultimate and with the bass. Okay, so what I thought here is, you know, trying to harass a little bit. I thought, okay, I'm going to try to pull the wave. There is nothing better for me to do, guys. Honestly, here there is no way. There is nothing better for me to do. Getting one mango in case I need some mana, and I'm just trying to deny a full creep wave from this Sven. This is what I didn't like, guys. If you pull the wave, or if you're position 3 and you watch that, please, like, why do you come here? I do not understand. Like, because all of a sudden 2 heroes share 1 creep wave, and on the other hand 1 hero comes here and the hero is actually here. It makes no sense. Why can my Spiritbreaker be here? Food for thought if you're a position 3 player, right? Sometimes Dota doesn't really require a lot of brain. Just, you know, you just need to function a little bit to just outsmart the opponent. That's all. I'm not saying I'm smart. I'm just saying, you know, sometimes you just don't play on autopilot, and you have way more chances to actually win the game. Okay. I don't know why I'm doing this buff walks, by the way. I'm just trading here. Nothing better to do, honestly. And the game continues. In this situation, I feel like this lane is quite lost, and the truth is that it is, right? But I really need XP. That's why I'm not really going back. I just need XP. And if you see, usually you want to get arcane boots because you go into other lanes, but when you're just so desperate like I am, I just immediately go to have the maximum amount of regeneration and just be like an NPC that I just want to get my level 3, you know, level 2, level 3. And then maybe be able to do something else in another lane. So I get to die. I told you, not a fun lane. So what do you think we're supposed to do? First of all, you get to see other lanes, okay? I really like that. I really want you to see that, because if you get to play some other, like an Air Spirit, Bounty Hunter, Spiritbreaker, you need to watch the other lanes. You know, I know that I can't really kill a puck in the mid lane. You know, that's a little bit too hard, for example. And we get a really beautiful kill here. And look at that. This is what I mean. I don't really do anything right now. By me, I'm saying the hero, you know. All we need is like really one lucky bass. And that's it pretty much. And all of a sudden, for us to find the skill, we, like, if I have more stats or if I have Blight Zone, it wouldn't really help me. A little bit food for thought. Instead of Spiritbreaker, if I have a Beastmaster, what I would do is go Blightstone and just trade with the Jakiro all the time, because I'm gonna have the minus armor and I'm gonna have the attack speed from the Beastmaster and I'm gonna have the boars to assist me as well. So again, you just always adapt to what you'll face and what you'll have with you. And all of a sudden, 2v1 scenario, we focus the Sven, right? Okay. Sadly, Weaver comes, so all of a sudden, that's a tri-lane. What does this mean for us? It means that the lane feels almost impossible to even be here, right? So what we want to do is make sure that they can never pull, and if the lane is being pushed, then get some XP. This is what happens when you just get tri-lane, right? Perfect. And you see how I just let my guy get his level 6. Sometimes, you know, we do want to get the level 6, but right now I know that this is the last XP that my lane is going to, you know, actually, you know, that we're gonna have. If we get tri-lane, it's just so hard to actually contest creeps. And that's why I'm in the mid lane. I'm thinking, you know, top is lost. Like, it's not actually lost. We just, like, CS-wise, it's not actually that bad. You know, sure, he has more denies, but it's a lane. It's a Jakiro's Venman, like, and we have Hoodwink, right? This is already pretty rough, but honestly, there is nothing I can do. And of course, like, this is the last thing that I want to say general as a position 4. Whenever you have the opportunity, guys, to get XP, you tip and you just take it, right? Remember that. All of a sudden, my Spiritbreaker was low. I need to take the XP, right? Even if you get to TP later on, because you saw XP, go for it. And until you get your level 6, it's just so important. I just can't express how Hoodwink is a really level dependent hero. Perfect. Nothing to say here, right? Hello? Mana? Okay, apparently I just do a thing that I just never use Mango in Buzzbot, right? Perfect. And now I get to die. Like, think a little bit. Let's go to the respawn. What do you think I should do right now? You guessed correctly, right? Fight happens, you go there. Another alternative, and this is what, you know, sometimes you get to do replay. What I would also be acceptable, you know, as an idea. Let's say the fight's about to disengage almost, right? What you could also do is tip it to the mid lane and get the free XP, okay? I was like a little bit confident that someone is going to die there, right? That's why I get to TP there instantly, you know? And all of a sudden we get these fights and I'm back to the lane, okay? Free XP for us. We try to get level 6, and guess what we're going to do with level 6, right? There we go. Try to shut him down. Perfect. I just want you to see the level 6, right? And we have level 6. We deny every farm. I said Crystal Maiden use ultimate. We literally deny every farm from this Sven. And all of a sudden, me and Crystal Maiden are going to hunt a Sven. Why just me and Crystal Maiden? And this is like more into the mid game, for example, when I do coaching and stuff. But I just don't need anyone else to kill a Sven. You know, all I need is Buzzwalk or like Frostbite into Buzzwalk, and we'll just blow him up. It is a hero that it's not like Slark who can ultimate or pounce away. Sven is quite killable generally as a hero. Okay. So our idea is to, me and Crystal Maiden, to make moves around the map, right? That's what we want to do. We try to find kills, right? And all of a sudden we got this kill, and we just get this team fight, right? And I just want you to see the impact, like despite of the fact that we got the team fight, I wanna show why Hoodwink is actually beast. All of a sudden, you know, by the way, this is like for damage level 2 Akron shot, but one level on scary, it's really good. And all of a sudden, and we just pretty much almost solo kill a pack, right? We got, I don't know, like 600, 700 damage. That's a lot of damage for a really small cooldown, right? And all of a sudden you see that the high tempo, you know, we kind of survived the laning stage. I'm just gonna show networks a little bit, right? This is good. This is good, actually. This is fine, but look at us. We are not actually that, like, usually you have approximately 1.8 to K net worth. Like in the previous game, I had like 1.8 or something at 10 minutes in, and all of a sudden 2.5. That means all of a sudden I'm really close to Etherlands, and I'm actually threat. A Hoodwink with Etherlands is so annoying to play against, right? Hopefully you like that, and let's go to a laning stage. That's actually really hard, and you know, we actually got stumped because sometimes, you know, laning states, you know, are just not gonna work out no matter what. So let's jump into that, and you know, let's go. Welcome back, and this is the last example that I'm gonna show. So in this example, I have Hoodwink with Tidehunter, and I approach the lane quite simply. I say, okay, Tide physical damage, Blightstone, on top of that gas, reduces armor, and this is, I'm not really sure if I would say that this is, if you're confident on yourself, you can go for that. The non-confident approach would be to get Pudge, because we get to face a Bane, and we got last picked Monkey King. So I can't, like, Monkey King is a hero that it's so hard to deal with, because Tidehunter and Hoodwink do not have burst to, you know, he will always have the time, even if we use everything, to just get 4 Jingos off and just bundle strike and go get full HP. But level 1, level 2, Monkey King is not that strong. So maybe with a little bit of cheap damage, we actually managed to get him down. So my starting items is also 2 sentries, 2 observers, to place and of course a smoke, to place a ward and get some gold and some XP, because I'm gonna deward, because I'm gonna see where they're gonna place it. And I recall I was really mad about this game, because I see them here, okay, and I see Shadow Summon there, right? I see him there. I'm like, can you just please not do that? Like, why? Like, and of course, like, it was like so bad. It was so bad, right? Double kill. Like, we got baited into that. I think I died as well. Double kill for the Wind Ranger plane. It was just so bad. So, and of course, that, like, I saw Cop here, and I knew she had the ward here. Like, I was so confident had something like that, right? I felt like he had the ward here or something like that, because they saw him, right? So all of a sudden, the gamble that I did just didn't work out, you know? I was confident, okay, at least I'm gonna get more XP, I'm gonna get the gold. With the gold, I'm gonna buy maybe a sentry or something, or even some windlace to start running. And okay, the laning stage starts, right? So what's our idea? To just punch this guy, because have this blight zone, just try to find some kind, like, to apply some kind of pressure early on, right? And what we always aim for is what? Yes, you guessed correctly, level 2, right? Would be perfect if we actually synergize our spell correctly. And yeah, just hitting, trying to get the most out of it. And what we try to do is, again, get level 2, right? My Tide got level 2. He actually body blocked that. And the moment this guy gets level 2, Bane, I feel like it's just a little bit hard, you know, to actually find the kill. Just because here's the problem. Can't even split the matchup into 1v1s. Bane can always trade with me so damn good. For example, if I have a Tidehunter, I can trade with Bane. If I have a Beastmaster, I can trade with the Bane. Not good, but with a little bit more regen, I can do that. And on top of that, my Tidehunter can't really lane with Monkey King, you know? It's just so hard. So I'm trying to maybe be able to bait, and all of a sudden I'm not even given the chance. like Bane is playing on point. He's always full HP because I'm counting on the fact that maybe he doesn't use brains up and we just get him down. But apparently this doesn't happen, right? And then again, trying to some kind pressure here. We try to go for the Bane, and the moment this doesn't happen, we literally used everything. He's like freaking full HP, right? So you already know that this is not gonna be a good matchup. It's just a matter of time until we actually like die. Like literally, he just solo killed me. He just slept me and just solo killed me, right? So I really want you to look at that last look. Do you see how I just look right and left in the mid game? We also mute them. We just look right and left. Maybe we can get the TP like we saw when Invoker dived, the god dived from the Batrider. It's the same thing, right? Maybe we can actually help some lanes if something is going on. So there's not much for me to do. Probably my best idea would be to pull this one, but I was so afraid of this. I was afraid of getting slipped from the Bane that I didn't even go for that. We have this back and forth here, and I really want you to show that. But this is what I mean. Maybe we just try here, you know. But even that is just not gonna work out. Like you just see how we just don't have that much damage to deal with that, and even that boss walking then it's just a bait. You know, I'm just pretending. I know that this is not gonna happen, and all I want to do is slowly and painfully get my level 6. And this is a game, by the way, that we actually managed to win, right? But I just want my level 6, and with my level 6, I will, you know, maybe play with the Shadow Summon or play with the pack and make something happen. Right? Dying again and again, and this is gonna happen, right? So I feel like at this moment, there's no I can't do anything top. So you start to think, okay, maybe if I can stack more, or maybe, you know, if I can play around my PL, or maybe if I can play around my pack and go for the runes, right? So the thing that I wanted to do here is go for the rune, right, and play like to go here and assist my pack. At this point, I literally have no game. CS wise, Tide is doing fine, but network wise, because Tidehunter has to invest a lot of consumables to be alive, right? So what you want to do eventually, and this is what I would suggest right now, the lane is actually lost, right? I can't go top. I cannot really go mid because I don't really have a lot of damage to assist my pack. And both Windranger with the double kill first blood is just so bad. We don't really have the damage yet. So what you want to do is try to leech XP everywhere you can, right? Everywhere you can, you just try to leech XP. You get your level 6, and then into the mid game. That's maybe a video for the future on what you're supposed to do. A hint is to play around with the heroes that allows you to actually kill enemies. Okay, for example, I have a 4-second cooldown ultimate. I probably need to play with someone that has also small cooldowns. Probably it's not Tidehunter. Maybe it's Pack with the coil. Definitely Shadow Summon. Definitely not PL, right? So, last thing that I want to say, itemization about the hero. 9 out of 10 times you go for Etherlands, no matter what. But that does not mean that you go for Arcane Boots. You might find yourself going for Tranquil Boots if the lane is really hard and just get a crap load of clarities, right? Now, I've seen a lot of things, right? If you get to play, for example, versus some kind of counter hero, Spiritbreaker, Storm, Void Spirit, right? NS. For example, Storm and NS, where you can't really hide, what you want to do is get a Ghost Scepter. If you're so desperate, fuck Etherlands, you go for Ghost Scepter instantly, especially if you're playing from behind. If you get to play versus a lot of high magical damage like Scarlet Mage, obviously you want something like a Glimmer Cape for your allies, right? Or like Pack or something like that. And of course, you're playing from behind, because if you're playing from ahead, you always go for Etherlands. Now, last thing, I've seen a lot of people going for Aghanims after Etherlands. I don't like that personally. I find Octarine to be really good as an item because the cooldowns are really small in Bushwhack. That's not Bushwhack. There you go. In Bushwhack, it's like 14 seconds. With the talent, it's 10. With Arcane, with the Octarine, is 7.5. It's really good. So you can multiply. You can constantly, and of course, Scary has smaller cooldowns. You can constantly use stuns and constantly hide. And I think this is what the hero is all about, right? So I think Octarine is a perfect fit for the hero. Then I like a lot the Aghanim shard decoy. People like don't really value it, but I like it a lot because it creates a tree and it just like for 2 seconds it stuns them. But then since you have a tree, you don't need to plant another tree. You just go for that. Anyway, that is a guide on how to make Hoodwink work in the laning stage, because in the mid game I feel like the hero is quite simple, right? One thing that I really want to mention is play Hoodwink requires a lot of time, because if you see, like, I miss a lot of skill shots and try to play on the edge and I die as well. And if you're the type of hero, the type of player, just like me, that tries to be really aggressive and tries to make something happen all the time, and sometimes if you've seen other guides, overestimate how strong he is, and sometimes people just don't follow up. Maybe you're correct, but just people don't follow up, or maybe you're delusional and you just don't listen to others. You will find yourself dying a lot, or being out of position a lot. So make sure you play the hero many times to get used to the limits of the hero. But the more you play, the more you'll understand that this hero is killable. The fact that you can just hide and you stun doesn't really make you unkillable. That's a guide. Hopefully you like that. If you want any more heroes, please comment from below. Like, subscribe, everything if you're new to the channel. Highly appreciated. And I'll see you soon. GG.